Biogas is something that's grown in Sweden for the past 15 years, something that's been highly prioritized from our government and also from local politicians. I think the major reason has been that we have seen the possibility of utilizing waste as a vehicle fuel. We've had biogas production at our sewage treatment works for decades, and it's been utilized for all kinds of purposes. But when natural gas was introduced as a vehicle fuel in the 1990s, people were saying, well, we can use the biogas for the same usages. So ever since then, biogas has grown, and there's been all kinds of different support programs to increase the use of biogas, and it's also become quite popular by the users, especially those with a very green heart, to drive around in a biogas car.
How is the biogas produced here in Sweden?
Mostly it's used also produced from sewage treatment works, which has been the traditional production facility for biogas. Over the last 10, 20 years, it's been increasing amounts of household waste that have been plants that treat this kind of waste in different municipalities around Sweden. But there's also now plants using industrial organics, also manure-based plants. So all through the waste spectra, you'll find biogas being produced in Sweden nowadays.
And how do we use it then?
About half of the biogas, more than half of the biogas in total produced in Sweden is upgraded and used as a vehicle fuel. And this has been something that's improved over the last decade or so. The main driver being that you'll get the most value for your product if you upgrade the biogas and sell it as a vehicle fuel. But for small facilities where upgrading isn't an option, you'll still find electricity production. In some places you'll also find heat production, and at least at a minimal, if it's, for example, a landfill gas plant, you might even just flare it off to reduce the climate effect of methane.
And you can see a big potential for biogas in Sweden and in Europe. In what way?
Well, biogas has an enormous potential. The main reason being that the organic waste that we use today is per definition second generation. We don't have to compete for crops, for example, when we produce our biogas. And the emissions from using biogas as a vehicle fuel is very, very low. So it has a number of very strong advantages using biogas. Now, once we've used the organics in Sweden, we could probably replace about 10% of our current need for vehicle fuel. What we need to do then is expand into the forestry registry sector, and our plant Go Biogas, which will prove gasification, transforming forestry waste to biomethane, will sincerely or substantially increase the potential of biogas in Sweden, where we believe 60 terawatt hours of our total of 90 in the transport sector could come from forestry waste.
And what are the challenges that you can see? Distribution to the market, I guess?
Distribution is an issue, but it has decreased in importance over the last year. Currently, we are looking at the policy aspects of it. Politicians are currently debating which fuels to bet on for the future, and the policies are short-termed and not sufficient. What we need from politicians is clear rules for what kind of fuels they will prioritize in the future, and also substantial support to build our system and as well as others. We also need support in developing the market for biogas. Currently there are countries that support it very much and some countries that support it very, very little, and this skews the market in very improper ways. So we need an improvement in market conditions throughout the European Union.